Deuteronomy 28 verse 16, it reads, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Right? So everywhere that Israel goes, right, is a ghetto, right? Is a project, because of this is what I'm reading right here. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, cursed shalt thou be in the field. Right? So when you go to the projects, you have the Israelites, you have the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? And when you look at the definition for the word ghetto, it means a place where the Jews dwell. You see? So that's all spiritual. All right? The fact that we live in the ghetto and all that. Okay? But that's a curse that the Most High put upon us. You see? And it says, cursed shall be thy basket and thy store, which means your businesses. All right? So that's why Israel, you don't want to see too much so-called Negro, Latino, Native American businesses, man. All right? Not even in their own neighborhood, man. All right? You'll have Gooks, you'll have Ishmael, all right? But you won't have their own you won't have Simeon, you won't have too much Simeonite restaurants. You won't have too much Dominican Levite restaurants. You'll have all the heathen running things in your neighborhood. See? Even when you go to Jamaica right now, who's running Jamaica, man? You first of all, obviously Britain, you're in debt to the British, okay? But then the Gooks, man, all right? The so-called Chinese, they're running it, right? And then next behind them is who? The East Indians. You see? Because cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. And it says, cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in. It's like in verse 18, it says, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, and the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. All right? And let me jump down to verse, we get a few points here. Let's get verse 32. This is a good one, man. Because this didn't happen to no other nation. No other nation went through what I'm about to read, man. No other nation. You see? This was a specific thing for the transatlantic slave trade. You see? And it says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. So what did they do in slavery? They separated the families. Okay? They would have sold your daughter to a plantation, sold your son to another plantation, sold a wife to another plantation. You see? So that's what I'm reading. Okay? Let me read that again. It says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. So you wouldn't have power to do anything about it. You see? But that power is coming. That power is coming through Yahushua. You see? But at that time, especially at that time, we had no, right now we don't have power. You see? If Esau wants to take your kid from the house, they can take the kid. You spank the kid for doing something, oh, that's abuse. And give your kid to a fucking homosexual couple, man. All right? That's how the Edomites operate. But right now you don't have power in your hand because of this. You see? This is why. And it reads, the fruit of thy land and thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. So everything that you work for, the devil is going to eat it, man. Another nation, the Edomites are going to take hold of it. When you're doing the cotton fields, who was reaping the benefits of that? Not you, all right? But your enemies, you see? And it says, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always, right? So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see, right? So these are just some of the curses that have came upon us. But all these curses are going to come upon them. You see? That's the justice. That's the payback. You know? Esau doesn't want to deal with justice when it comes to him. But when someone else does something to him, they want justice right away. I'll throw the buck at him. You understand? But when it's him, no, forgive and forget. Okay? But it's not going to happen like that. The Most High has it set up for you, man. Everything is a chess move by the Most High. The war that's going on right now in the Middle East, we've been talking about that our apostles and elders for 30 plus years, man. All right? Saying that there's going to be a World War III. It's going to be started based upon the Israelis. And we've been telling you that for so long. And guess what? It's coming to fruition. Right? Like the prophecy says, it says, it's yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. Right? These Edomites don't want to hear that. They don't want to know that they're going into slavery. But guess what? That's part of their judgment. And deep down, they know that's what they deserve, man. When you speak to certain Edomites, certain so-called white people, they'll tell you, man. Yeah, like there's one guy that came up the other week. And he's like, yeah, man. Yo, white people, I know how they are. We need to go into slavery. He knows that he needs judgment, but he wants to put on that front. The front's not going to get you anywhere, man. At the end of the day, the prophecies will come to pass. All right, so so basically, I don't really have to go into any more. I'll come back to Deuteronomy 68, but I'll go into 30 and 7, because this is going to prove what I'm talking about. This is Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7, and it says, "And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee," man. Right? And who hates you more than the so-called white man? Who hates you more than these Edomites, man? And these other nations too, but mainly these Edomites. Okay? All these curses are going to come upon them, and they're going to have to accept it. They're not going to be able to fight against it. You see? At the end of the day, reality is going to hit them. Okay? Because what they created in their own mind is not reality. That's just a mask, a guise. All right? But what's going to happen is going to be reality. When they see themselves in chains, that's going to be the reality. Let's get Isaiah 14:14. All right? This is Isaiah 14 and verse 1. So back here, Isaiah 14 verse 1, and it reads, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob." Right? So he's going to have mercy on us as the Israelites. All right? And it says, "And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors." Right? So like I was reading in Deuteronomy, right? We shall be oppressed always by our enemies, which are these Edomites, these so-called white people. But according to the Bible, we're going to take them into slavery. Okay? And once we put them into slavery, they're not going to be able to get out of it.
Hi.
What's going on, man? What's up?
Again, you're recording something.
Yeah, well, we're speaking the truth of the Bible. These are the true Israelites according to the Bible. Right, where do you come from, matter of fact?
Venezuela.
You're Venezuela? You know you're an Israelite. You're an Israelite. You're from the tribe of Venezuela, Zebulon. You're from the tribe of Zebulon. All right? Venezuela. You see what's happening in Venezuela right now? You see all the famine and stuff that's happening in Venezuela? That's really judgment from the Most High, because you're actually sons of God. You're sons and daughters of God, just like all these people are on this side. Right? We're supposed to be living in a certain way. We're supposed to live in a certain standard, okay, that was taken away from us in the time that the conquistadors came and we were put into slavery, right? The top three tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, were put into slavery, and you were also put into slavery at a period of time, but you were mainly slaughtered and almost exterminated, you see? And what happened was you lost your culture. Part of your culture was the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. All right? If you ever wonder why we're such a religious people, it's because we have a affinity towards the Heavenly Father. You see what I'm trying to say? So I'm going to read something to you. I just finished reading. I'm going to read it again to you to show you why these things happen. This is Deuteronomy 28. And I'll start at verse 1 first. And it says, "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day," and he's speaking to the Israelites, when they came out of Egypt with Moses. All right? "The Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations, and all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power. So if you do everything that he told you to do, right? Which we have a lot of things that we're supposed to do, right? Like we had a dietary law. We had certain way that man was not supposed to put on a woman's apparel, woman not supposed to put on a man's apparel, right? We're supposed to eat certain foods and do certain things, right? High holy days that we had, Passover, right? So on and so forth, right? And he said if you were to do that, we would have had all these. We would have basically been ruling the world right now. You understand what I'm trying to say? In righteousness, if we were to do all the things that he said. But this is the flip side now, verse 15. And it says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." All right, right. And so now all these curses from Deuteronomy 15 all the way to 68 is what has overtaken us. When you read it, it has not happened to any other nation on the planet Earth except for these people. Period. All right. And when you go into Genesis, the 49th chapter, it's going to go into some prophecies of each tribe, right? But Jacob, which is our forefather, his name was changed to Israel. That's why we're called the Israelites. He came to all of our forefathers, because Zebulun, that would be your forefathers. Zebulun, which our forefather would be Benjamin, but we're all one people. These are the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. And he came and he said, "Listen, this is what's going to happen to you in the last days. You're going to be doing this." Matter of fact, he said Zebulun. You know what he said about Zebulun? He said, "You shall be a haven of ships," which what is Panama Canal known for? Right? Which is right there next to is that not next to next to Venezuela? Is that not close to Venezuela? Very, very close. In between, right? Which Zebulun is part of Panama. Okay, that will be the tribe of Zebulun. So it said, Zebulun, you will be a haven of ships, which means the ships will be going into where they dwell, back and forth. Right? That was a future prophecy for now, because that's a haven for ships. You look at Issachar, which is so-called Mexicans, it says the word Issachar in the Hebrew is Yashakar, he is hired. Right? So, and it said that he would be a strong ass between two times, which means he'd be a hard worker.
Not enough people signed up.
Boom. When you break it down, it's undeniable that we are the Israelites. This is why you see a lot of these people going on and they're wearing these things, right? And they're trying to actually come back to their heritage, and they're doing it. And this is the fastest growing thing in the planet. Fastest growing. It's not a religion, but the fastest growing movement on the planet. Okay, because this is something spiritual. You see what I'm trying to say? But that was an example. No, it's all good, bro. It's all good. Go do what you have to do. But you could take that and digest that. Really, I don't want to give you too much anyway. You might throw it up, right? Right. There's a lot that might go over your head. But take that, understand that you are an Israelite, right? You can go on the internet, type in Israelite Great Millstone, and you can look at some videos and you can learn more.
Thank you
all right,
very much.
bro? All right, you take care, man. Take it easy, man. All right, so that's it, man. The tribe's got to wake up, man. At the end of the day, Israel is gonna come back to their heritage, man. The Most High done ordained it, and there's nothing Esau can do. Esau wants to stop this, but he can't stop it. You can't stop it because it's spiritual. You see, it's a spiritual movement. All right. You see, because Esau, he would like the elder said from Texas. He said, "Listen, the Esau wants you to be carnal, man, because he knows he can win that battle. But the spiritual battle, Esau can't win. He can't win the spiritual battle, man. See? Let's get Ephesians the 6th chapter real quick. Esau cannot win the spiritual battle, man. All right? And the Most High is with us. The Heavenly Father is with us. Okay? It's Ephesians 6. There's nothing Esau can do, man. There's nothing Esau can do. This is Ephesians 6, verse this is Ephesians 6 and 10. It reads, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." You see, so we're standing against the wiles of the devil by being confident in the power of the might of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Not being confident in our own power, all right? Because our power comes from him. He's the power source. You So like I said, that carnal battle, you're not gonna win that. You understand? These people, they're dealing with carnality. You understand? They're dealing with, they want to get that victory in the flesh. We gotta get that victory in the spirit. You see? And it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So this is what we're battling against, man. And we battle against that with the word. This is a sword. Okay? And we have other armor, right? Like righteousness, right? Which is the breastplate. All right? You see? Faith which is above all. You see what I'm saying? So the shield of faith, which is above all. Right? So we're not, as a matter of fact, I'm going to read that. I shouldn't even say I'm going to read it, right? But at the end of the day, it's a spiritual battle we're dealing with. And that's the way we're going to win. We'll win that battle every single time, brothers. We'll win that battle. We'll win the spiritual battle every single time, man. You see? In the world, I was always, he's talking about me, this and that. Let me go avenge myself. Nah, that's not the way to be, man. You can't avenge yourself, man. You got to let Yahweh Shem Yahweh shine. All right? It says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench the fiery darts of the wicked. You see what I'm saying? So that's all spiritual. That's all spiritual armor and a spiritual sword, which is this word. You see? So Esau can't deal with us with this Bible, right? But he would rather be a hands-on physical battle. But we'll leave that for the 2/3. The 2/3 of the nation of Israel is going to be part of a physical battle. We're not going to be part of that, okay? Because there will be a race war, there will be class wars and all that too. But we're not going to be a part of that, right? We're gonna sit in the background. You see? We're gonna let that play out. You understand? Because at the end of the day, the Most High is gonna really totally destroy this kingdom. Okay? And the 2/3 are gonna go right along with these Edomites. Alright? So let them wipe themselves out. Ultimately though, these Edomites are gonna lose that race war. I'll say that much. They think they're gonna win based upon their carnality, but the Most High is gonna put a spirit in Israel, man. He's gonna put a real spirit in these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that's gonna be going back to the ancient world, man. It's gonna be a different spirit. It's not gonna be now. It's not gonna be them dancing and no. It's not gonna be none of that bullshit. He's gonna put an ancient spirit on it, man. All right, where they're gonna run through you Edomites like nothing, man. All right, right. So that's what's gonna eventually happen, because all the tribes are gonna link up. You're gonna have Judah link with Gad, right, which are the so-called Native Americans. Right, so you're gonna have the so-called Negro, Native Americans, Latinos from all the different tribes. They're all gonna link up together, and they're gonna go against the Edomites. All right, that's prophecy. You see, when it says that that Ephraim, that he had bent the bow with Ephraim. All right, you see what I'm saying, and filled the bow with Judah. All right, roughly paraphrasing. Those two tribes, those two kingdoms are gonna link up, man. Despite their differences now, despite the hatred they have for each other now, they're going to link up in that time. The Most High is going to put a special spirit on it to see, let us get the real enemy. Let us get the real problem. All right? Matter of fact, it's Isaiah 19, right? And that's what Esau is afraid of too, man. Esau don't like that. He don't like the tribes getting back together. He don't like that. He would rather the tribes just individually, come up against him. He'd rather the Judites come and then, But nah, they're coming together. They're coming as a force. You see. But really, the elites at the end of the day, what really threatens them is this word. Is what we're doing right now, coming out with this truth. That's what really puts them on edge, because they're starting to see. Listen, man, we can't defeat this spiritual battle. We can't defeat them in this spiritual battle, because we're not coming with violence. We're not coming with any type of carnality. We're coming with the facts. The truth is what's destroying them. The truth is what's making them bug out. Okay? And it says, this is Isaiah 19. And I'll start at verse, matter of fact, I'll start at verse 14. Salaki, I'll start at verse 17. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. All right, and this is speaking about spiritual Egypt, which is speaking about America. All right, so Judah is representing the so-called African Americans, but it's really speaking about the kingdom of Judah, man. All right, starting with the tribe of Judah, but the whole kingdom of Judah is gonna be joined unto them. All right, because they really look, they relate. You understand? So they're gonna actually come up. They're gonna be a terror to these people in Babylon. All right, they're gonna really start to wreak havoc. And they're gonna start the killing. All right, they start to beat people down, and you're not gonna be able to stop them. It's gonna be the Rodney King riots times 10. All right. Not only Esau's getting it, Moab's gonna get it, Ishmael's gonna get it, Elam's gonna get it. All right, all these other heathen nations are gonna get it. All right, and it says, and the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself. So just the mention of Israel in that day, of a Judite in that day, is gonna put fear in their hearts. Okay, because of what they're gonna do. You see. That's the Most High rousing up that old lion that's crouching right now. All right? It says, therefore shall they be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he hath determined against it. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan, and swear to the Lord of hosts. And what's the language of Canaan? That's the Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew. All right, if you type in the language of Canaan in Google, you're going to see the ancient Paleo Hebrew. All right, so we're starting to speak that now. When we say Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right, that's Hebrew right there. That's ancient Hebrew. All right, so that's what we're speaking, man. That's the language of Canaan. You see, and it says, and swear to the Lord of hosts, one shall be called the city of destruction, which is what America. America's going to be the city of destruction. America, which is also known as Babylon the Great. All right, that will be that's known as the city of destruction. All right. So you know what I'm saying? So Esau is gonna be prone in that day. He's gonna be scared. He's gonna be running. He's gonna be nervous. All right, because the Most High is gonna put a different spirit in these Judites, man. All right, starting with Judah, okay, because Judah is the head tribe. All right, but that's gonna trickle down to all the tribes. All right. Let's get Genesis 49 real quick. Because like I said, man, Judah right now, Judah's crouching, but Judah's starting to wake up a bit. You know, he's starting to open his eyes a bit, you know? He's yawning. You see? Because they see the evil that these Edomites are doing, and there's only so much you can do before the Most High says, you know what? Get him. All right? This is Genesis 49. This is Genesis 49 verse 8. It says, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Right? Because we're gonna give praise to the tribe of Judah, man. Because the tribe of Judah, we're gonna give praise to the tribe of Judah because the tribe of Judah is gonna get reverence in that time. Because right now the tribe of Judah is the main tribe that's getting shitted upon right now. Right? By all tribes, not just other nations, but also amongst his own brethren. You see? They talk shit about the African Americans. You see? So Judah's going to be exalted in that time. And it says, thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies, like I was reading. Right? He's gonna be a terror unto Egypt, which is speaking about Babylon. You see what I'm saying? So Judah, at the end of the day, what he's going to do is he's going to wake up. He's going to be in a different spirit. All right? He's not going to be in the spirit that he's in now, that marching spirit, man. All right? That we shall overcome spirit. He's not going to be in that. That's going to go out the window. All right? And he's going to get right. He's going to get right to action. Okay? Okay, thy brother says, thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies, thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion and as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up? So right now, Judah is as an old lion, all right? He's crouched down, he's rested, he's not really taking action, okay? That's why these Edomites are getting away with all that wickedness that they're doing to them, right? The cops shooting them down and like nothing, all right? And the hypocrisy of Esau that's going out, and that we're exposing day by day, right? But Judah's not fully roused up yet. But guess what? The Most High is going to put a spirit in him that's going to rouse him up, that's going to make him go in attack mode, all right? And that's what's going to put fear in all the rest of these nations, all right? Starting with the nation of Edom. They're going to be the main one that's going to be feared, okay? But all these other nations too, man. Any nation that's an enemy to us is going to be run through, man, all right? Let's go. It says, hold on. Right? So that's what's going to happen. But the elect is not going to take part in that, man. All right? Even though Judah and the rest of the 2/3, right? 2/3 of Judah, 2/3 of these other tribes, they're going to be doing all this. But we're not even going to take part in that, man. We're just going to be chilling. All right? Because at the end of the day, the Most High is going to provide for us, man. We know what's going on. We see what's happening. All right? We have the testimony of Yahushua. We know the prophecies, man. They don't know, man. All they know is they're being oppressed, and the white man's no good. All right? But they don't understand who he is. They don't know who these other nations are. And he don't really understand or believe who we telling he is. So at the end of the day, he has no control, man. He's just dealing with carnality. You see? But that's okay, because that carnality has a place in that time. All right? Because the Most High is going to use that for them to mess up these Edomites, man. All right? You better believe these Edomites are preparing too, man. All right? They got shooting ranges. They're sending their daughters to the shooting ranges. All right? So these Edomites are preparing too. All right? But that's a certain percentage of them. Okay? That's not all of them. That's only a certain percentage. Okay? But either way, they're more prepared than you, Jakes. But the Most High is going to put a spirit in you to actually really start to get up. All right? And really start to take action, man. Right? Because Jake right now, he's sleeping, man. About the 2/3 of Judah and the 2/3 of the rest of these nations. They're going to be doing that because the Most High didn't choose them to wake up to this truth, man. All right? And to really come back to serve Him in righteousness. The Most High didn't choose them to do that. All right? So that's why they're going to be, their lot is to do that. All right? Let me read this. This is Jeremiah 11 in verse, I'll start at verse 13. For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have you set up of altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. All right, and they're doing that right now, man. All right, if you're not worshiping Yahweh Shem El Shai, you're really worshiping Baal, man. They're worshiping another god. All right. So at the end of the day, the majority of these Israelites, man, that's what they're doing, man. They're into idol worship. Okay, whether they know it or not. All right, if you worship the so-called white Jesus, man, which is Cesare Borgia, which is originally Serapis Christus, then guess what? That's another god, man. All right, there's a heavy demon with that particular idol, man. There's a heavy demon with that particular idol. But that's what the majority of our people are into. You see? So this is why the Most High is saying what He's saying here. Therefore, pray not for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. All right, so the Most High is not going to hear them. Okay, he said, pray not for them. All right, which means what? He doesn't want them to get it. You see, because guess what? The 2/3 have their lot too. Like I said, somebody has to bring that race, right? Somebody's gonna have to fight Esau. All right, in this coming time. It's not gonna be the elect. All right, the elect is gonna be chilling. All right, we're gonna be watching things play out because we know what's ready to come. Okay. So while all that's playing out, we're gonna be happy that that's playing out. Obviously, we're gonna be rooting for Jake. All right. We know Jake is ultimately going to win, right? But we're going to be rooting for Jake, and at the same time, we're going to be rooting for their downfall at the same time. So if you can't, who has ears to hear, let them hear. We're going to be rooting for them to win that race, right? But we're going to be rooting for their downfall at the same time because 2/3 is not going to make it ultimately. All right. And it says, matter of fact, Isaiah 65. Isaiah 65, because at the end of the day, like I said, man, the elect is going to be taken care of, man. See how this scoffing that brothers go through, man? This is light work, man. This is real light work, man. Right? You see these people, they might laugh, they might snicker, they might talk shit. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when this comes to pass, right? When this comes to pass, they're going to be completely in shame. You understand? At the end of the day, it says he who laughs the hardest. Right? And we're gonna laugh last, man. Lord willing, we be of that number. Okay? And Israel's gonna laugh last too. The whole nation of Israel's gonna laugh last too. And we're gonna laugh the hardest. Okay? Because right now, Esau, Edom, right, he's laughing, but his laugh is kind of dwindling out. Because he sees that his kingdom is falling. Alright? So when that fully happens and we get back up in power, the Most High is going to allow us to have that last laugh. All right? And that's going to be forever. There ain't going to be no comeback. Oh, no, we're going to take you down there. That's it, man. All right? After that, that's it. You see? This is Isaiah 65, in verse... Isaiah 65. I'll start at verse 11. Isaiah 65 and 11. And it reads, but ye are they that forsake the Lord. You forsake Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That forget my holy mountain. That prepare a table for that troop. And that furnish a drink offering unto that number. Therefore will I number you to the sword. And ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. All right, and how is he calling? He's calling to us. All right, so when he called, he was using us. Right, he said, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will come out and tell you exactly what was happening. All right, and what you need to do. Right, but since you did not answer, right, this is what the Most High is going to do. It says, when I spake, he did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, power. Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty, man. So when people are starving out here, guess what? We're gonna be cool. All right? We're gonna be eating. Right? We're gonna have abundance. We're not gonna have to worry about nothing, man. All right? We're gonna be chilling, man. We ain't gonna be like how these people are gonna be. And it's gonna be a miracle to them. They're gonna be like, what the hell's going on? Right? You see what I'm saying? And while they're dying of thirst, we're gonna have that water. We're gonna have that water. We're gonna have wine. All right? We're gonna be chilling. All right? Whatever the Most High gives us to drink, we're gonna have something to drink. While these people are in a famine. All right? Because that's what he did to Ezekiel, right? Which was a man of the Lord. And when there's a 3-year famine, he ate for that 3 years. Every single day he ate, man. There wasn't a day where he didn't eat unless he was taking a fast, unless he chose not to eat, man. But at the end of the day, when there was a fast, while there was a famine, he was eating, he was drinking, because the Most High set him up. The same way he's going to set us up to be eating and drinking in that famine. You see? And it says, behold, my servants shall rejoice but ye shall be ashamed. Right? Like I said that shame is gonna come. Right? Because right now, it's the shame right now for us, right? The people, they snickle, they laugh, and that don't feel good, right? But at the same time, we know, right? If we're thinking in the right mindset, we're like, listen, that's nothing. All right? Really, I'm going off with that. That should feel good. Because at the end of the day, that's for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You see? So you gotta embrace that, man. You see what I'm saying? Like the apostle said, like the apostle Tahar said, right, to the apostle Gabar, the apostle Ramla, he said, you have to learn how to love, you have to learn to love to suffer, man. That's deep, but that's true. You have to learn to love to suffer. And that's not easy to say, man. All right? But it's true. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're gonna have to go through in order to reach to reach the kingdom. You see? That fire. We have to walk through that fire. You see? And the Most High is gonna allow the elect to get through that fire purified. It says, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. So it's going to be a turning of the tables, man. While they're laughing, they're snickling, they're talking shit, right? They're having a good time. We're out here doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's going to flip. You see, they're not going to have a good time. They're going to be starving, all right? They're going to be worse off than the homeless people you see in your cities, man. They're going to be worse off, man. Because at least they can go to a soup kitchen, man. They get money every now and then. You see? But they're not going to get that. They're just going to be left out there. They're going to be looking for something to eat. There ain't going to be nothing to find. The grocery store is going to be empty. The dépanneur is going to be empty. All right? And then they're going to look at their children as a fucking hot dog and a hamburger, bro. And that's what's going to happen. That's the prophecies, man. Matter of fact, let me get that in Ecclesiasticus real quick. See, because people think it's a joke. Jake always think it's a joke until it really hit them. You know? Just like in 9/11, man, like the apostles say, that week of 9/11, man, the camp was flooded, man. All right, the camp was flooded. All right, crowds of people. When Katrina happened in New Orleans, crowds of people was gathered there, man, to listen to the apostles, man. You see? Because Jake only wants to listen when something serious happens to them, man. If they're chilling, if they have money, they're doing okay, right? There's no famine going on. They forget about the Most High, all right? But when something happens, when something serious happens, then they want to turn back. Oh, what was that name you said? What were you saying about the prophecy? What do we have to do? But guess what? It's going to be too late. There's going to be a certain time when the doors of mercy are going to be shut to the Israelites. Okay? This is 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 15. And it says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. So there's gonna be people looking to kill you, man. When they see another person that has something that they need, they're gonna be looking to kill you. It's gonna be a lawless society at that point.